Hey guys, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about a bunch of new drugstore stuff that I've come across very recently. I've got a lot of new lip type products in this video and just some really random things as well. First thing I'll mention, I've actually had on hand for quite a while, and I just thought since I was talking about some other mini makeup sponges, I would reference these too. But these are from Swisspers, and this is something I found at Walmart, kind of near the cotton pads and Q-tips type area. If you look closely in there, you may find this little mini blending sponge duo. So there's a purple one and also a pink one. And this is what, like after it's been saturated, I use this today with my concealer. This is what it blows up to be like. And they're really, really soft. I would say they end up kind of expanding to get a little bit larger than a Beauty Blender Micro Mini. And they don't keep maybe quite as much of a point toward the tip. I mean, obviously it's still decently tapered there, but in terms of just softness and the ability to blend, you know, a very delicate area like your under eye without applying too much pressure or feeling like you're tugging at product, it works really well. Like it's very, very comparable, and I have enjoyed those very much. And I think a micro mini beauty blender is probably the kind of product a lot of people look at and they're maybe a little skeptical, like, do I really need something like that for the under eye? So if you are a mini sponge skeptic, that might be a good place to start out and see if you like that, because I really think it's a fantastic texture. It gets really, really soft. And then Ulta came out with this set of 3 mini sponges, and they look like that. There's also an orange, and this is not saturated. I used this one the other day. These do expand to be about the same size as the Swisspers one. I would say these are definitely usable. They do soften up quite a bit as they grow when you saturate them under the sink, and then you definitely want to wring them out as completely as you can, and then that's your sweet spot, you know, for blending out concealer. But these do stay a little more firm than the Swisspers ones do. Those get really, really soft and remind me, I think, even more of a Beauty Blender brand Micro Mini. I've tried some really, really bad mini sponges. I'm thinking of those ones from Up and Up that just were like rocks. They didn't do anything for me. These, I think I definitely could get use out of. I just happen to like the Swisspers one better for their softness. Swisspers, that feels so funny to say. Now, one thing I did use and blended out with one of those sponges today on the under eye area was this new color correcting stick from e.l.f. I got it in the Correct Dark Circles Light Skin Tones shade. So I think they have an even deeper, richer, you know, peachy, orangey type color. This is supposed to help dark circles and dark spots, and it's been infused with vitamin E to help hydrate the skin, and it is a really nice, smooth texture. Here's what that looks like swatched out. It really does have a lot of peachy pigment to it. For me though, I was a little disappointed. I just wanted some more coverage. It was a nice texture to work with. I thought it blended out super easily on the skin, but when it was all said and done and I was finished blending it out, I thought, I'm still seeing some issues through that. It almost needs to be like a little thicker or richer in consistency. It's not quite doing for me what a Benefit Erase paste might do, but it may just depend on the severity of your issues. You know, they have all different tones. I think they've got some green and lavender ones, and depending on what your need is, some of those might be great for you. This for me though is just not something I see myself repurchasing. Revlon has several new products that you're going to see sprinkled throughout this video, and one of them is this Insta blush stick, and I got this in what I thought was the deepest shade available called Berry Kiss 320. I feel like I've got kind of a decent selection of cream blushes, so I was just trying to go for something that seemed different from a lot of the stuff that I have. But it's just a twist up stick, and it kind of was a letdown for me. The stick is rather dry. I think they're trying to make it something that's going to not be super sticky on your skin and difficult to blend in that respect, but at the same time I feel like it's almost a little too dry. It's kind of hard to pick up product straight from the stick with a brush, or if you want to take this across your skin, I feel like it totally pulls too much. And when you feel like a cream blush, if you have to work to pull that across your skin or apply much pressure at all to your skin, it's probably messing up your foundation and stuff underneath. So it's not a bad tone. I mean, if you really want to spend some time working with it, I feel like I can get this sort of rosy look on the cheeks. But Maybelline's, I think they're called Master Glaze Creme's cream blush sticks are head and shoulders above this, in my opinion. I've got that in several shades. They just require the lightest little bit of pressure. You can easily blend them out. No unusual texture left behind. This, like I said, just a little too dry for my liking, kind of hard to work with. I had kind of a cool find from Five Below, and it was this little contour palette. I believe it was exactly $5, and it's by Profusion. And sometimes, you know, you start looking through all these mini palettes at Five Below, and it's just kind of overwhelming, and you're thinking, are any of them really going to deliver? And this one, for whatever reason, I went ahead and picked it up, and I actually think this is fantastic. Really pigmented, a couple of different tones of highlight up top. That could even be like a glowy blush for someone, but it is very glowy. And then everything else in here is matte. You've got a couple of matte blush options, one a little more pinky, one more peach, and 2 options for contouring. This, depending on your skin tone, this could be kind of a neutrally blush as well. I have been able to get a lightly contoured effect with that, but this one strikes me more as like a deep bronzer, kind of like a Too Faced Chocolate Soleil type product. Today I contoured with this. I use this as my blush and this one as my highlight. So that's what's working color-wise on my face today, and they're all very pigmented. You just lightly tap into them to pick up some product. They do give you a strange little brush in here. It's really, really stiff. I feel like that could be good for something. I don't think I would necessarily use it for any of these products because I would want it a little more diffused across the skin, but it's very stiff and kind of dense. It kind of reminds me of the appeal that It Cosmetics Je ne sais quoi palette had with the 4 products in one. They were giving you the blush, the bronzer, the highlight, but also a like kind of finishing powder, like pore reducing powder. And that element of that, I must say I really enjoyed that because I felt like that particular product could take the place of pretty much any powder I needed to use, and I would have like all powder needs covered in one. This does give a few more options shade-wise though, and it's $5. Another new Revlon thing that I ran into are these cream eyeshadows, and they're in little pots that look very, very similar to a Maybelline color tattoo, only the cap is a little bit taller. One reason for that, they put a little brush in the cap, and it's actually a very usable brush as far as, you know, if you're going to put one of these shades all over your lid, it picks up the cream shadow rather nicely, and I mean, I have no complaints about that. I think that's kind of cool that it's in there. This shade that I got, I mean, it just really struck me out of the whole lineup. It's called Black Currant. It's number 740. It says long wear cream eyeshadow, built-in brush, wears up to 24 hours. The consistency of this is very smooth and a little bit thinner than a Maybelline color tattoo. As you feel this going across your lid, I think it's more comparable to the Maybelline color tattoo sticks, which I've always felt were just a little bit smoother and creamier. Here's a swatch that's been on my hand for about 15 minutes now, and as I rub across it, I can kind of see the shimmer, because there's a lot of shimmer in this color and really all the colors that I was looking over. The shimmer can kind of be rubbed away, like if you're really, you know, going at the swatch. It can certainly start drifting, not in a really dry, messy way, like if this were a loose pigment or something, but it's just, you know, it kind of spreads a little bit, but the overall like metallic color of this shadow seems to stay in place pretty well. And I was wearing this yesterday, and while I felt by the end of the day, it certainly had faded. It was like the only thing I was wearing on my eye, except for just a very light crease color. I would say I had it on for 16 hours, and it definitely had faded by the end, but it didn't crease like crazy. It didn't feel like it was really collecting in the crease of my eye, which I will sometimes notice with certain products, but I'm not a person with major oily lid issues. So some people have that worse than others, and if you do, you might have a little more problem. But today, this is the shade that I've got just all over my lids, and I think it's beautiful. Like color-wise, it's just gorgeous, and it doesn't feel sticky. It really doesn't feel any different from the texture of the powder shadows I've also got on today. I don't know, if you really wanted to put it through a 24-hour test, you might notice like, yeah, it's technically still there, but I'm pretty sure it would be very faded, considering the fact that it was really pretty faded on me after 16 hours. But I think I need to give this some more tries, use it under some different circumstances. You know, one given day trying something out really isn't the best indication of how it can work. And with today's look, I packed on the product a little bit heavier, so maybe that'll also give me kind of a different indication of the way it wears. Another eye product that I found is this new mascara from Covergirl. It's called So Lashy, and it's a Blast Pro mascara. You know, they had the Lash Blast Pro. I think it was in a black tube with a red cap, so this has the purple cap. And it's a really interesting shape on the brush. It's got this sort of spiky ball on the end, and it's kind of got these 4 wings of bristles down below it. And what I noticed when I first take the wand out is that little ball at the end is very overloaded. At least at this point, with it being like my 3rd application of this product, I'm taking it out and I'm really needing to clean that little part off. Like, look at it just now. I mean, it's got a lot of excess there. So you're going to definitely want to get rid of some of that so you can actually see the spikes and feel like you can use those spikes, you know, to get through your lashes. I was kind of concerned that that would interfere more than it does with these other little parts of the brush actually being able to get in contact with my lashes because the spiky ball is so big. But you actually do feel like you can use this end, you know, these 2 kind of arched ends to get through your lashes and get some separation. The length that this gives is kind of nice, but I do get the feeling that my lashes are getting kind of overloaded with product, and I know that is sometimes my takeaway when I've only used a mascara a few times and it needs to, you know, get a little more air worked in there. It needs to dry out a bit more and get some of the product used up a little more. But I must say I am a little discouraged with this because with CoverGirl's Supersizer mascara, that one worked really well on me out of the gate, and it helped hold a curl. This weighs down my lashes so quickly. It's kind of a lot of work to comb through them and just get some of that excess off, and by the time I've done all that, I'm like, where'd the curl to my lashes go? Also, this is pretty difficult to apply to the lower lashes because I find myself working off of the end of a mascara wand with a lot of products that I use down there. And with this, you know, even when you clean off the tip, it's kind of got a lot there. I always like my lower lashes to look a bit softer, and that's kind of hard to accomplish with this brush. This is not an instant home run for me, but I'm gonna keep, you know, using it a little bit more. I've got a load of lip products to talk about here, and these Eos Lip Balms, I've had these on hand for a while, and I really haven't been all that impressed. These are the kinds with shimmer, and one is like a whitish pearly shimmer, and one is a little more pinky. And here's my gripe with this. You're gonna use an Eos lip balm. You're gonna reach for pretty much any lip balm when your lips are dry, maybe cracked, chapped, you know, just visibly need some help. And when the product has shimmer, particularly light shimmer, it takes your flakes, it takes your dryness and any kind of issue you're having on your skin, and it just exaggerates it. From a distance, sometimes I put these on and I'm like, oh, my lips just look kind of glowy and nice, but then I look closely and it's like, no, that's not an attractive look. I'm seeing way too many issues. The pearly one really spotlights some problems. The pink at least adds a little bit of color to the mix. And the texture is nice and smooth. I gotta say, it almost feels even creamier than some of the other Eos lip balms that are out there, but that shimmer feature is just not for me. Might be for someone else, or, you know, if you know your lips are just in perfect condition and you like light frosty lips, then go for it. Another new Eos balm that I got is their fresh grapefruit. It's got SPF 30, and I love this scent. Oh, that is so refreshing. That is a great, like, wake up your day type thing to put on your lips. This doesn't feel like quite as rich and creamy as the others, but it's still really good. And there are some of these Eos lip balms that I think make really nice lip primers because they're not too soft, they're not too greasy. And this would certainly be one that I put in that category, and I just love the scent, and it's colorless. You know, it's just gonna be a regular standard balm that you put on. Now we take baby steps away from colorless lip balms and we go to these, which are the Revlon Kiss Balms. These are new to their line. They've got a number of different flavors, I guess, and colors. I have the one called Sweet Cherry. These are also SPF 20 products. And then I saw a limited edition shade at my Walgreens, and it's called Sugar Plum. So this one has a little bit of shimmer in it. And as I was just looking at the darkness of the color in the store, I was like, that appeals to me. I'm kind of curious about that. The Sweet Cherry, just like with one baby basic swipe across the lips. You know, it's giving you this light kind of pinkish red tint to the lips, but you know, they're lip balms overall. It's gonna be sheer. You can apply a little bit more if you want to build up the color somewhat, but they're not super long lasting. They are hydrating to an extent, but for a real treatment, if that's really necessary on your lips, I don't think these would stand up to my Nivea balms very well, or like the fresh sugar lip balms. These, don't get me wrong, they feel nice on the lips, but they're more of a lightweight as far as a balm that's actually going to treat your lips would be. But I do really love the color, especially of the Sugar Plum. This has just a teeny bit of shimmer to it, but I like the color. I like how it feels so light on my lips. It's very easy to wear, but yet this particular shade has some depth to it. I guess my takeaway with these is these are nice kind of casual lip products, but I'm not really over the moon. What I am really loving that Revlon has put out are these, and these are, they're calling them their Ultra HD lipsticks, and they already had Ultra HD lipsticks that looked more like a traditional lipstick tube. I think I just have one of them, and it's in like a silvery packaging. I remember very shiny, very pigmented, a lot of scent in them, and these seem to have those kinds of qualities as well. I always like a skinny stick like this though. I think that makes every shade just a little bit easier to apply, and I feel like these are kind of the second coming of lip butters. You know, they discontinued lip butters, and these really have that same kind of feel, the same color intensity, kind of a glossy shine on the lips. So if you loved lip butters, this may be the aspect of Revlon's line you want to start looking to now. But I actually really love both colors that I got. I got 710, which is HD Desert. That's what I've been wearing throughout the video. It's like just this beautiful rosy neutral color, very easy to wear, works with anything type of shade, and it's creamy. There's no shimmer in either of the colors that I have. A lot of shine, but yet they don't feel greasy like they're slipping outside the lips. I also got 760, which is HD Vineyard. So this is a very, I think, wearable soft berry. The scent on these, I wish I could pinpoint it. I'm getting kind of like a tropical vibe with it, like not all out coconut, but does anyone else think these smell kind of like some sort of tropical cocktail? I can't quite put my finger on it. But the scent is really pretty strong with these, like if you take off the cap and actually smell it. But once it's on your lips, I don't really get much. But these products, I don't know why I never really dug into this line when it was more just like standard lipsticks, but I would totally get more of these. I really like this format and shape of a lip product, and they do feel to me just like lip butters all over again. Last few things here, super random, and I know I mentioned this in my video on the drugstore gift ideas, like under $15 stuff. I mentioned that Burt's Bees has some seasonal lip balms out. Ginger spice, really yummy. If you like kind of a gingerbread, cinnamon spice type scent, you might enjoy that. And they've got a mint cocoa as well that I found at Walgreens. And for just under $1, soft soap. Really, I love the Bath & Body Works foaming hand soaps, but for whatever reason, these caught my eye. The peppermint candy cane, there's a red berry cobbler. I think they may have had like a vanilla sugar cookie scent. These though smell fantastic. I'm a sucker for some seasonal scents, so I'm excited to replace some of the things in our other bathrooms that I've already got in there with these. So hopefully this was a useful little heads up for you on some new things that are out. I would say, to me, my most exciting things from this little haul slash, you know, new at the drugstore type video, I really like those Swispers mini sponges and the Revlon HD lip colors, these skinny sticks. I think those are awesome too. With other things, I'm not saying I got a lot of hardcore duds here, but like I feel like I need to use that cream shadow a bit more. I need to use the mascara a little bit more before I really form a definite opinion on it, you know? So thank you guys again, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.